There's been a lot of North versus South arguments going on recently. By a lot, I mean on Reddit, Twitter, and the unemployed sector. And by recently, I mean ever since Mountbatten texted Gandhi about his plans in 47. So I thought I would clear this air once and for all. Let's start with geography. The north has some really good places like the deserts of Rajasthan, the snow-capped mountains of the Himalayas, and the lakes of Leh Ladakh. All great places to get scammed by Make My Trip agents into making you pay twice the money for their hotels and flight tickets, practically leaving you with enough money to survive on one packet of Maggi and a bottle of Bisleri because there is no other shop in the vicinity. The south, on the other hand, is a lot simpler. You don't need mindless agents to go to places, just pick a point on the map and walk on a straight line, and the diversity will eventually find you. Diversities like this beach, or this beach over here, or this place that also happens to be a beach. Somewhere along the way, you may come across people taking photos of some rocks and boulders because at this point, even they start to look more interesting. And when you are bored, you can always run to any one of the hills in the Western Ghats and jump off a cliff and die. With geography comes geopolitics, and in case of a nuclear attack, you might think that the South has a distinct advantage. They are practically faraway targets from their enemies, and even if someone launches one, by the time it would land, Kerala and Tamil Nadu would simply shift their fishing boats to Sri Lanka and continue their lives without breaking a sweat. Meanwhile, Bangalore would have launched a startup app based on a nuclear defense technology, and Andhra and Telangana would simply stay, because a nuclear blast isn't as hot as their local food. Hell, their assholes have seen more heat at a dinner table than Oppenheimer has in his lifetime. A little nuclear fission ain't gonna do shit to them. To counter this, the North has two options. Either they move to places that don't really exist, like Jharkhand and Orissa, and hide in plain sight, or take a longer trip to the Northeast, a place so ignored, even the enemies don't care. People also argue over whose economy is better, the North or the South, as if the taxes they pay to the government and the bribes they pay to the politicians only benefits their locality. People see states like Gujarat and Maharashtra do a lot better and think, gee, that's a booming economy, I wonder if I should move there. But when you see that an OnlyFans subscription costs the same everywhere, what's even the point of going? Education, on the other hand, is a lot more individualistic. You might have heard about the high literacy rates in Kerala and seen schools in Bihar and figured out about where your future son's college admission will be. But you must remember that education is only an indicator for literacy, not idiocracy. The only real difference between an educated man and an uneducated man is the number of attempts it takes to use Microsoft's pivot table without fucking it up. Health and safety is a good indicator, and some might say there is a clear divide here. Sure, Haryana is killing their daughters. Sure, Delhiites are checking to see what kills them first, depression or their heir. Sure, Uttar Pradesh gifted Ram Gopal Varma a film career, and sure, people would want to move to the south to live a bit longer. But when you see the three basic versions of what the South Indians call food, you feel that the risk is worth it. Language is a hot take that comes up frequently. Some believe Hindi to be their national language and use English to convince others. Many are confused about what is a national language and are looking up in the constitution to find it, while the rest are preparing for their Gotha A1 certificates and preparing to move to Germany for their studies abroad. Clearly, any person trying to force a new language upon someone hasn't used the Duolingo app, and it's annoying fucking owl that makes you repeat, I want to go to the toilet in 3 different variations. One peculiar thing about this debate is that it is not just the people living within the country arguing. Indian expats do make a lot of noise about their home country, especially when they are not home, not realizing that they are the single biggest reason for raising the cholesterol levels in Canada and lowering the gold reserves in Dubai. What they should really be doing instead is attend their classes, pay off their loans, drive their Ubers, and piss off. For sports, you don't have to go too far to see a clear divide. Just the number of IPL trophies is enough to see the pathetic state of affairs up north. While there are things like sports that can divide a nation into two, we can take respite in the fact that journalism has brought this country together by being equally shit on both sides. With every media channel being bought by a political party, it's not news anymore. It's a free MBA course on PR and marketing. And it doesn't matter if you're in the north or the south, when your favorite news channel has strict competition from Amazon Prime, you know you're witnessing great journalism. Of course, films will continue to hold its number one spot in the entertainment industry, but the north-south debate has ended up taking a position here as well. Many who have established that Bollywood is truly shit switch on their Netflix and watch a couple of recommended South Indian films and think they just witnessed peak cinema. What they haven't really watched is the 100 other same masala movies that defines Bollywood, which is consumed by South Indians worldwide. All South Indian movies are not great, just well hidden. At this point, you have to ask yourself, Is there any point to this video, or is this another 5 minutes wasted? Kinda like this whole debate. But if you're really serious about taking sides in this argument, go home, contribute something real, pay your taxes on them, and fill the pockets of the politicians, the real people who benefit from all this. Farewell.